Well, my channel had got deleted. I am now on time of my new channel, and I am going to be dropping now videos again, just a little bit more safer this time. I got copyright strike, ban, all that other type of stuff. But without further ado, today we're going to be talking about the downfall of Alabama Crimson Tide. Let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? As we all know, Nick Saban had retired this early year back in January. And now, as we're looking at this team that's being led by a new offensive mind and now being led by a new head coach, it has been a very interesting ride so far when it comes to Alabama. Alabama has lost to these programs where it seems like they don't know what they're doing anymore. If you look at their current record as of right now, this isn't the Bama that we used to see and people used to fear. This is a team that is no longer has that it factor anymore. It doesn't really mean anything to be an Alabama player like that anymore. You have it to the point where Nick Saban himself has to come out and defend his guys, which he has every right to, especially being a guy who has led this dynasty through thick, through fire every single day of his entire illustrious career. That man is 71 years old, and he was able to compete at the level that he has been for a long time. When you look into the whole it factor of Nick Saban, this man here has some amazing accolades underneath his belt. And so you would think that the success would translate after him being no longer with the team. He's able to produce these coaches that are able to take over his legacy. But it seems like that's not it. You have one loss back in week 8 where it comes to losing against Tennessee, a rivalry game. You lost to Vanderbilt. You have all of these other teams that you have faced. You still have to face Georgia. You still have to face LSU. These big name schools that has been the enemy for a long time when it comes to Alabama. These games that mean something. And it seems like they're not getting it together. I don't know what it could possibly necessarily be. But when you have your own coach coming out and having to defend you, former coach at that, having to defend your actions that you guys are doing on the field, guys that are doing things off the field that have nothing to do with football. What do you do when your entire program that you built and created goes up in flames right in front of you? It's sad, and I hope that they fix it. Nobody is saying that Alabama doesn't have a chance on going to the playoffs this year. They have a chance to go to the playoffs. If they lock in for these last few couple of games that they have, they will be successful for the remainder of the season. But they got to figure out this coaching staff, and they definitely have to figure out how it's going to be able to translate into going into the playoffs. Because right now, they keep playing the way that they're playing, it's not going to look too well. But that's really just my take on it. How do y'all feel about Alabama basically no longer being that it factor?